Alright, so I'm going to try and do this as quickly as possible because, one, there's a lot of, well, actually, three reasons. One, a lot of noise in the background and my AC might kick on at any point. Two, I really want to try and get a shower before heading out. I know that may be a little bit TMI, but I honestly don't care. And number three, reason why I'm taking a shower is because I'll be heading to the AEW Wrestle Dream, not Dynasty, but AEW more specifically. So I would like to at least look presentable in public. But before all that, I do want to at least talk about this movie because it is very interesting, to say the least. Of course, my name is Daniel Strunk. Welcome to QuickTime Reactions. And I just got out of seeing After the Hunt. This is the newest film by Luca Guadagnino, who has done all sorts of movies. Call Me By Your Name, Bones and All, and Queer. I actually reviewed Queer, so that review is up on the channel, and you can see my thoughts on that wacky and crazy ride. But we have this movie, which stars Julia Roberts, ayoedebiri, Andrew Garfield, Michael Stolberg, Chloe Sevigny. I'm probably butchering that horribly. And it tells the story about Professor Imhoff, or Alma, as many people call her, who is a professor at Yale, and she is living the good life. You know, she's teaching at a well-respected college. Her colleagues all love her, and some of her students respect her. In fact, all of her students respect her. However, when one of her students, played by ayoedebiri, Maggie, comes and tells her that another one of the professors, Hank, may have done something, shall we say, not really good, it then goes to her to be like, well, do I tell on, one of my best friends, or do I just let this go? And of course, everyone's going to have a say in what is going to happen. So, how will things shake out? So, Luca Guadagnino is definitely a unique voice. I compare him similarly to Ari Aster, in the same way. It's like maybe people won't understand what exactly he's saying, but he is saying something, and whether that gets communicated all that well is another thing to talk about. But he is a really, really good director behind the camera. He and his cinematographer Malik Hassan Saeed, who was the cinematographer on this movie, they do a lot of really good shots, lots of good long takes, lots of static takes where all they're really doing is just messing with the focus of the shot. In one instance, Maggie and Alma are having a conversation, and it's just changing focus in between both of them. Like, one's in the foreground, one's in the background, and it's just simple changing of the focus. That stuff is absolutely awesome. And it's really, really cool to see that. All the performances in this are absolutely awesome. Julia Roberts does an absolutely amazing job. ayoedebiri does an amazing job. Andrew Garfield does an absolutely amazing job. Michael Stolberg, for his limited scenes in the film, I say limited, but he pops up here and there throughout the film. I think he does a really good job in this movie. the writing is probably going to be the thing that either A, trips people up, or B, makes people pissed. And this movie was written by Nora Garrett. And, it has a lot of stuff to say about, our society, how we view certain people after certain things happen to them in their lives. People's motives in doing such things. And I think it does a fairly good job at it, but I can also see other people, kind of, like I said, be either A, getting tripped up by it, or B, just getting pissed off at it. And, I'm not in the position to, talk about this stuff. I am, and there goes my AC, I am a male white dude. I'm a male white, so I should have like the easiest road in the world. But some other times it's not as easy. And I can only imagine for other people it would be even harder. But, with the way certain topics are dealt with in this movie, I think are done pretty well. And it also helps, it's aided by really, really good performances. And so, you're trying to figure out, like, everyone's motives, and then for one person, that motive becomes very clear. And, you slowly start to learn more about Alma, more about her history. And, it's a really, I would say, complex story that deals with, again, a lot of stuff that maybe a lot of people don't want to hear about. But I think it's done relatively well. But, be warned, if you don't want to, kind of engage in that kind of stuff, I completely understand that. But if you are willing to take that step forward, then I think it's a pretty good story overall. Music in this was done by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross of Nine Inch Nails. This is vastly different from what they did in Tron Ares. Simple instrumentation mixed in with pianos, and mixed in with the motif of a ticking clock, which I think is very apt for a movie with this type of story, whether it be a ticking clock for someone's career, or someone making a confession, or anything else. I found that to be a really, really good motif. So well done on the score from Atticus and Ross. Overall, I would say that this is a pretty solid film. Again, if you're wanting to engage with the ideas that are being presented in this movie, then I think it's pretty good. Performances in this are awesome. Music's really good. Cinematography is awesome. It all just comes down to, are you wanting to accept the story of this, and maybe even potentially like have, I don't want to say like a mirror reflected upon everybody, but or reflected upon yourself, I should say, because it's going to reflect on everybody. We all have been in a position where we're either going to accept something or deny something. It's just how life works. And so I think if you're willing to engage in the story, I think you're going to have a pretty good time with this. It'll be divisive, for sure, for the people that go and see it. This movie will be divisive. But I think this was pretty solid movie. I would definitely recommend seeing After the Hunt, if you can, in theaters. But those are just my thoughts. Let me know what you guys thought of this movie in the comments down below. But I have to now get ready to go to wrestling here in a little bit. So I will be there. Of course, expect my review for the show as well as the entrances. And I'm looking forward to recording those. But in the meantime, guys, be safe out there. And when someone has something to tell you, listen to them sometimes, because you don't know if it could be, jokingly so, or if it's serious. Just listen to people. And I will catch you guys later.